Steve Nash was always one of the best NBA players to never win an NBA championship. He was one of the all-time greatest passers in NBA history. He'd entertain fans around the NBA with his flashy passes, but he'd also go on to lead the NBA in assists 5 times, be an 8-time All-Star, and a 2-time MVP. Before we look at where he is now, we'll take a quick look at what led him to where he is today. Steve had a diverse childhood. His mother is Welsh and his father is English, but Steve was born in South Africa, then moved to Canada when he was 1. Early in Steve's childhood, he played soccer and ice hockey, and he didn't pick up a basketball until he was 13 years old. From there he was hooked, and he told his mom he would be a star in the NBA one day. So in Steve's senior season in high school, he averaged 21 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds a game, before leading his team to a championship and being named his province's player of the year. So his coach sent highlight reels to over 30 American universities, but only Santa Clara University responded and picked up Steve Nash. Santa Clara hadn't appeared in the NCAA tournament in over 5 years, but Steve changed that. He led them to the NCAA tournament twice in his 4 years there, and made it out of the first round both times. Steve Nash wanted to declare for the draft after his junior season, where he averaged 21 points and 6 assists a game. But when he found out he wasn't going to be a first round pick, he played it smart and decided to stay in college for his senior season. But he was still dedicated to be a first round pick, so he played for the Canadian national team and trained with Jason Kidd and Gary Payton in his off time. And it worked, because that next year, he was the 15th overall pick in the 1996 NBA draft by the Phoenix Suns. The Suns fans booed Steve Nash when he was picked, because no one had ever heard of him before, because he didn't play for a big college. He was never appreciated in his first run at Phoenix, so he was traded to the Mavericks in 1998, where things would turn around for him, because he started every game in the 1998 season and averaged 8 points and 5 assists a game. Nash and the Mavs started to develop, and by the 2000 NBA season, Steve was averaging 15 points and 7 assists a game. He'd go on to make the All-Star team twice before signing with the Phoenix Suns again in 2004. At Phoenix, Steve would go on to win MVP 2 years in a row, start in the All-Star game, have seasons averaging 18 points and 11 assists a game, and throughout his time there, despite having teammates like Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, Shaq, and Grant Hill, Steve Nash and the Suns could never win an NBA championship. So Steve eventually was traded to the Lakers and teamed up with Kobe Bryant and Dwight Howard. And if you remember that team, you remember that they were pretty much trash. And Steve Nash was hurt for most of his time on the Lakers, playing only 65 games in 2 seasons, and then sitting out his entire last season in the NBA due to back problems. His time on the Lakers was the last time he was ever seen on an NBA court. So where is he now? After saying he would sit out for the 2014 and 15 season, the Cleveland Cavaliers and his old Mavericks team tried to recruit him. But he said no because he was in too much pain and he wanted to retire as a Laker because of how grateful he was for the opportunity they gave him. So a few months later, on March 21st, 2015, after almost 20 seasons in the NBA, Steve Nash officially retired. 6 months after that, Steve Nash took a part-time consultant job for the Golden State Warriors. He made the right choice because his first season there was the season that the Warriors went 73-9, but they still lost in the finals. Away from the court, Steve Nash became engaged and got married to his now wife Lila Frederick, was a part of a group that bought a stake in the RCD Mallorca Soccer Club, and he's been highly critical of Trump's presidency. During the 2016 and 17 season, Steve Nash started to work with Kevin Durant. He helped him with his ball handling and his pick and roll game. Steve sees little weaknesses in Durant's game and tells him how he can make small changes to fix them. And since Steve Nash brings so much knowledge to the team, all the Warriors players started calling him Yoda. Steve Kerr said that Nash brings something to the table that he can't. Curry and Durant can relate to Steve Nash since they've all been MVPs and great players in the league. Kerr said that he relates more to Ian Clark. After that, the Golden State Warriors would win the 2017 NBA Finals, which meant Steve Nash would be a part of a championship-winning team for the first time in his career. All the Warriors wanted Steve to attend the ring ceremony to get his ring, but Steve didn't think it felt right to have played in the NBA for 18 years and not win a ring, then go up and accept one as a consultant. I mean, he's got a point. I probably feel the same way too. He said it didn't feel right and he'd rather not be there, so he didn't show up, but he still received his first ever NBA championship ring. Steve said that he doesn't play basketball anymore because for 18 years he shot every shot and attended every practice to become the best. But now that it's all over, he feels like there's no point. It took him 2 years to accept his life after basketball, something that's hard for a lot of players to do after their careers end. He said he used to feel empty at times, and it was because he realized he was never going to get to drive down to the arena, play in front of 20,000 fans again. But he's gotten over it by staying busy with other aspects of his life. So today, Steve's day-to-day life consists of working out every day and being a dad that drops off his kids and picks them up every day after school. And when he's not doing that, he's running his production company. And the most recent time Steve was in the news was when he worked out with Lonzo Ball. Lonzo said it was a lot of fun and a great experience. But LeVar said, "What's Steve Nash gonna teach my boy? He's short and slow. Come on, man." I mean, maybe he'll teach him how to not be trash. But seriously, that's where Steve Nash is now. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment and let me know. And just like every video, comment who you want to see where they are now next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.